Good morning. This is the Life Motivation. I am Thomas Warden. We are the entrepreneurs from across the world that come in here each day to give you the love, knowledge, and inspiration to move your life to be the best person that you can be today. Today is Friday, and most people have the excitement to saying, hey, this is an awesome day. It's my day. You wake up with that energy and that excitement. But you may have some tasks that you need to accomplish today before that finish line of this afternoon, before you can have that cool beverage and that barbecue with your friends and family. So make sure that you keep moving forward today with that activity, that motion to get you to that correct spot where you need to be before you can actually say, you know what, the day is accomplished. I've had a good one. And when is that going to be? That's when you lay your head down. So you need to keep moving forward all day long, every day, because there's many people that they work hard and diligently within their life to be able to run that track and be that 100-yard sprinter or that 1 mile or whatever they do, 4 or 5 laps around the track. Have you ever seen that one guy that is been in the lead for so long and nobody's behind him? And then he gets a little bit slower and complacent and cheering himself on, and everybody's cheering too as he's heading towards that finish line. He's still got about 50 yards left to go. There's somebody back there with a little bit more energy, a little bit more push, a little bit more drive, and says, you know what, I'm not going to give up yet. I'm going to give it my biggest blast right here at the last 100 yards, and passes that person up to win the race. Maybe by a step or two, but guess what? He didn't stop. He kept moving forward. He kept pushing his life in that direction to say, I will accomplish this at full blast, at full speed, to do what I want to do within my life. That's what they do. So if we get too complacent within here before we accomplish the goals and our dreams, and you start hoorahing before everything is actually accomplished or put together, then you're not seeing the big picture. Because we have to stay striving every single day to be the best version of ourselves. Will there be some situations that come at you, some roadblocks, some hurdles, some people that want to throw some things in your way to kind of distract you? The squirrel mentality thing that I call all the time, that bling bling. We as entrepreneurs, we have gotten away from looking at that bling bling. We don't have horse blinders on, but yet we have a dedicated focus. We know what we want as entrepreneurs. And what do? We move our life in that direction each day. We get up to make sure that we have lined up, tuned up, and got ourselves in alignment with our source energy to be able to move our life in that direction of our goals that we have to accomplish today. Why? Because we know the power of the pen. So we wrote down what we need to accomplish, what's our highest priority today, and we know where we're going to be going and how we're going to do it. So when we wake up in the morning and we start going through our routines to be able to do our meditation, a little bit of exercise, get some good food and nourishment in us, then we come in here and we take care of our meetings. Then you can go out and you can start living your day and start accomplishing those errands and those goals and those tasks that you want to accomplish. Now, once you get to a location and the sign says close for a couple hours, do you stop and realign and put that off somewhere else? And, I'll do that later. I'll do that tomorrow. No. You come back after lunch, after you go and accomplish one task, come back and finish that task today, because that is something that needed to be done today. If not, it wouldn't have been on your list. And if it wouldn't have been on the priority list, then it would have been just one of those, okay, we'll get to it when we can. But if it's on your priority list, you do what you have to do to get it done. If you have to come back in a couple hours, you have to drive through some freaking traffic, then drive through the traffic. But just know, when you start driving now, it's a little bit better attitude, because you know, hey, I'm going to accomplish this goal and this task today, and this traffic is not going to worry me. The red lights are all going to be green for me. It's going to flow with ease, because that's a thought process that I give to my day before I even kickstart my day. I get up in the morning times and I take care of my routine, and I already know what I need to do. So I know my flow of my life, of everything that I'm going to do today. And I don't get complacent with something of bling bling or the squirrel mentality to say, you know what, I'm just going to sit over here and eat this bag of chips and drink this margarita, and then everything else can go do what it's got to do today. I'm not going to do it. No, that's not our attitude as entrepreneurs. We know that we have to accomplish our goals. We have to keep moving towards it. And then in the afternoons, then we can reward ourselves. And we can say, you know what, good boy, you got everything done today. You got all your tasks accomplished. You got all your errands ran. We don't have anything that we have to worry about or put on our list for tomorrow. We've accomplished it. So tomorrow we'll write some new goals and tasks down. Now, instead of having a list that continuously keeps building because you didn't accomplish anything, because you had oh man, this bed feels pretty good this morning, I'm going to wait until about 10:30, 11 o'clock before I get out. And then now when you get out of bed, and then it's, I got to eat breakfast. Well, here comes noon. Or here comes 1 o'clock. And then it's like, well, everybody's going to be closed by the time I get there. I'm not going to go take care of it today. And then now you feel like crap because, man, I didn't get anything accomplished today. That's not the way as entrepreneurs live. We know that nothing is going to get done without some action. We know nothing is going to get complete until we do it. Because I love it, as watching parents telling their children how to do something, but yet you turn around and see them do just the opposite. And it's like, if you want your children to do what you ask, then you better show the same task and be able to show that you have the ability to take care of it as well. Because there's sometimes it might be right there on the floor. It might not, hey, we need to pick this up. Well, you as a parent just walk past it just as well. Why didn't you pick it up and set it out of the way? Why do you have to wait for somebody else to come do it? Same thing at a job site. You might be the supervisor. You might have a tag or a title over your name at your office door. If you walk out into that job site area and you see some things that are, misconstrued, out of place, this, that, and the other, slightly pick it up and set it out of the way where it's not in the walkway. Quit waiting to go around to be bossy and say, hey, you know what? I seen this over there, or I seen that over there. We need to take care of that today. Well, why didn't you just pick it up and do it yourself? Because if you were in that position, then you probably know how to do that. If not, that title is nothing. But I want to tell you, as entrepreneurs, titles mean nothing to us. I don't care what you say you are and what you have built and accomplished. I don't care if you, let's put it this way. I have sat down with presidents. I have sat down with third world country leaders that make more money than each one of us have ever even thought of having. Gold-plated toilets and faucets at their house. All right? Yeah. I've talked to those kind of people in a room, in a meeting, in a setting. Guess what? I talk to them just like I'm talking here today with everybody within here, because they put their pants on the same way I do. They accomplish these things in life only because they took action within theirs, and it worked, and it got them to where they got the monetary funds. Now they don't know what to do with it. You know what? But they're just as human, just as us. They got a heartbeat just like us. They have emotions and feelings just like us. They have dreams and goals that they want to accomplish just like us. When you sit down and you talk to them, they may have the money, but they never even move their life in the direction of some of the things that they wanted to do. And for me to sit down and work with them on a goal plan, that was the funniest thing to me in my entire life that I've ever been able to do, is to sit down with people that have made more money than the bank has produced, and me to sit down there and work a plan with them on different things that they want to accomplish within their life. Yes, simple little me. Simple little things that we all do on a day-to-day basis of inspiring others to do the best within you, to have the greatness within you, to know that you have it and no one is going to be able to take it from you. The experiences in life that you've been going through, the things that you're going through, don't get complacent. Stay humble, stay moving forward. Take that action. Make it happen, because your life is only going to go in the direction that you want it to go. And there's another part. We tell a story of what we want our life to be as. We talk that story all the time. Then my next question is, I hear you talking about it, but I don't see you living it. So if you're going to talk about it, start living it. If you're saying you're going to inspire to do something better today, go out and do something better for you today. If you're going to, say you're going to, build a big house one day, then are you moving towards getting the monetary funds, the property, the contractor, the layout of the house? Because I can tell you what, there's a person in here that did and is. And guess what? She's going to be able to paint her house this weekend because she went and signed the papers last week. From New York all the way to Tennessee is where she's going. Why? She wanted to be around family. So she took action on a day-to-day basis to say she would not work at Walmart for the rest of her life. She said it 3 times, and then she took action and walked away. Started building her empire, her online world, to the next level of what she wanted it to be, the action and the story that she had been telling herself. And then she drew out a house plan as we talked one day. And she said, I've got the house plan, the rooms, the size, everything that I want. Then she started going to look, taking action to look for it. Then she found it, and it connected and it aligned with her. And now she's going to be able to go paint it this weekend. So having that kind of energy is good to talk about it all the time. It's good to tell the stories of where you were. Now, tell the stories of where you're going. and then tell the stories of what you're doing to get where you're going. Those stories will move your life into a better direction than you've ever even thought, instead of the negative ones of the poor, pitiful me story that you keep telling over and over and over to anybody who will listen. Just remember, those past stories are the things that you haven't done, or the, oh, well, me, this happened to me, or they did this to me, or I got laid off from this job because of this person, or I wasn't able to do this because of that person. Then I'm going to tell you to go look in the mirror. You wasn't able to accomplish some of that stuff because of the person in the mirror, because the attitude that you probably brought to the table, probably because the I know best and you don't attitude that you were bringing to the job site, when you just needed to show up and take care of your job. You wasn't hired to come in and revamp this place. You wasn't hired to revamp anybody that's in this, supervisors or employees. You were here to hire to do a task. So come in and do that task and go to the house after you get your paycheck. And if you want to do something more and tell other people how to, do something within a business, then go start your own. Simple as that. Then the employees that work for you, they can do exactly the way you want it, because you're going to write out a plan. This is what your task is. This is what you do. This is how it's going to be done. And if it's not done within your quality that you want, then you critique them a little bit to show them the better side. You don't put them down and say they aren't worthy to be here. You lift them up and say, you know what? That's awesome. That looks good. Thank you for the hard work. Let's shift a few of these words here, or let's do a little bit of something different there. And then let's do this. Let's try this. Now, guess what? You're going to work side by side with that person to try that. So both of you will see how it works. Because there's many days that I come in here and there's different things that I don't know within my business. So what do? I reach out to somebody else that has the experience and the knowledge. And then I ask them some different things. Okay, this is what I'm going through. And then this is what I would like to accomplish. What was you able to do to accomplish what you did? And then they give me their knowledge. And then I absorb that. Same thing as if you go to a college professor all day long. But guess what you did with that college professor? You went and paid money. Now, if I go talk to somebody that has success and something that I'm going towards, they work with me. They're not sitting there trying to tell me, oh, you got to pay me, $1,200, for a month before I can talk to you. No. They understand as entrepreneurs the hardships that we all go through as we are building our empires, because nobody knows exactly how to do it all right there from the very get-go. Because if we did, none of us would be in here this morning. All of us have had to learn a little bit of something new from each and every individual that you see with on this screen right here. We all have a talent that there's something that I'm not good at, that I lack in, let's say my financial side. So what did I do? I contacted Brother Julio, because I know he had worked on his to get his to a different level. And he had many different things that he could show me and let me go look at to help me with my financial side. When it came to my career side of what I was doing and being the online entrepreneur, what did I do? I contacted Jenn. Why? Because she had the success in the online world. And then that is what has been able to assist me to get my online world into a whole different direction. My sister, when it comes to other business aspects of brick and mortar, I contact her. Why? Because she has a brick and mortar business and has been for the last 10 years and very successful with it. So I reach out to those that have the knowledge and are already doing what I'm looking for. So I don't have to go pay no professor. I just get with the person. A lot of times you just reach out on Messenger and say, hey, this is how I found you. This is why I'm connecting. And this is some of the stuff that I'm going through. And, do you have any good books, or do you have any good YouTube videos, or do you have some kind of course or something that would help and assist me? Boom. Most of the time people will reach back to you and give you that knowledge, because we want you to inspire to be the best person you can be today, the best businessman or woman that you can be today. The best teacher in life is to ourselves first. We have to teach ourselves to love ourselves. We have to teach ourselves how to give ourselves the good words, and knowing that these words that we give daily, it's a daily habit. This is something we have to get up and do every day. If not, the negativity will overcome you and take you right back into where you were before. So if we don't get up and do this every day with that happiness and saying, I love you, and filling my cup up first, because I know the darkness will hit quickly. But now I know that there's no darkness will come around me ever again, because my light is shining so bright and I am so powerful within. And the words that I speak every day, brings knowledge, brings inspiration, lifts others up, not breaking them down. Living a good life is what we want everybody to have. You got dreams just like I got dreams. You got creative ideas just like I got creative ideas. Guess what? All it's going to take is one creative idea to take your whole life into a whole different direction. And it's fun. Miss Jenn, I see you got your hand up. She must be walking the dog. Go ahead, Brother Julio.
Well, you know what, you got me thinking, Thomas. You know, and I was already pondering this before I jumped on. I jumped on a little bit late, but what habits are we forming, as people, in order to get ourselves and take ourselves to that, that greater place within us, that better version of ourselves? Each and every person here this morning, they've had moments where they tapped into their source. They've had moments where they tapped into greatness. They've had their moments of tapping into their full potential. They've had their moments of being that better version of them, and they stop, and think like what Jenn just said, a deer caught in the headlights kind of stuff. People stop and they think, and they take themselves out of it. They allow other people to get their moods, their persona, their thought process, their attitude completely out of sync. How many times have you, and this is, people do things randomly, and I know I've done it sporadically, and I know so many individuals, including people in my direct circle, my immediate family, where they've written stuff down. They've drawn, artistic stuff, created certain things. It might be crafts, it might be painting, it might be, fixing cars, it might be, it could be a number of things, regardless of what it is, but you tap into that greater version of yourself. You tap into a hobby. You tap into an interest. You tap into something that okay, well, there's a little bit more of me in this. I might be a little bit good in this talent. I might be really, really good in this area. I might, I realized that I actually like writing. I realized that I actually like drawing, or I like crafting, or I like doing carpentry work, and building little things, or whatever the case may be. We've all have stepped. If you've been alive for any amount of time this morning, and all of you guys look alive this morning, you all look like you're breathing. You all look like you have a pulse today. So each and every one of you guys have done something to tap into that better version of yourself. So think today, right now, this day, this Friday, what do you have to do? What habits do you have to develop? In order to get you to where you want to be? What habits do you have to practice? People think of habits, with a negative connotation on it, a lot of times, because you think of habits and they think of bad stuff. They think of maybe smoking or drinking or, gambling or something like that. When you just think of the term habit, a lot of times it registers when you say the word habit, that's automatically people flock towards those ideas. But we're talking about something greater this morning. We're talking about you becoming a better version of you. We're talking about you sharpening up those skills that you may or may not have. We're talking about you sharpening up maybe those people skills. Maybe you getting better in a certain area, you getting better, and what is that? That's you becoming a better version of you. You tapping into your own potential. You tapping into what's locked inside of you, the secrets that are inside of you. I love the question that we've been posing lately, and I've been examining myself with the same question. What do I want? So in the what do you want question, you begin to find the more about yourself. You begin to discover you begin to discover secrets about yourself that you didn't even know existed when you begin to ask yourself, what do you want? Can I tell you that I've had the opportunity and to be put in a position of influence in the last year where people ask me, and I'm able to revert this question. They'll ask me, what direction should I take in? Or what do you think I should do, Julio? What do you think I should do here? What do you think about my finances? What do you think about this? Or what do you think about what move I should do in this area and that area? And I love reverting that question right back to them and just saying, what do you want? What are you good at? What are you not good at? What are your strong suits? What are your weaknesses? What do you want to transpire in your life? Some people have never even sat and thought about that question. you know, let alone discover the secrets that once you begin to tap into yourself, that better version of you guys, you begin to discover there's so much more to you than meets the eye. You're like a transformer, baby. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. There's so much more to you as a person than getting up, going to work every day, being in that zombie state that we're always talking about. You know, that woe is me mentality, the groundhog, you know, day, living that over and 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 over again. Nobody wants to do that. That's why people get sick, they get tired, they get depressed, they get all, you know, and their emotions, they get overwhelmed with life. They allow situations and circumstances to get to them. They allow people and the energy that people are deriving, you know, to bring them down, you know, and if they were up here, they communicate, and then boom, that brought them down. But it's up to you guys. You have to will yourself for this. Nobody's going to come to your rescue in this life. I'm sorry to bust your bubble on this Friday. You know, if you wanted some encouragement, the encouragement is you have to do your own heavy lifting of your life. You have to discover what it is that you want to do. You have to discover what it is that makes you tick. What is it that makes you happy? You know, discover what it is that you find source in, that you find joy, that you find fulfillment in. You know, whatever that is, go after that thing, person. You know, go after that, sir, ma'am. It's up to you. Nobody's going to do it for you. You're going to continue to be in that zombie state until you unplug yourself. We could give you tools. We could lead you and guide you. But it goes to the old saying that you can lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink it. We can't. We could tell you all the greatest practices. We could tell you, we look ourselves in the mirror and tell ourselves that we love ourselves. And we could tell you to do the same, but unless you go and you do it, then you won't begin to feel that love. You won't begin to believe that you love yourself. You won't begin to affirm anything within yourself until you do it yourself. It's up to you, the person. It's up to you, the individual. You're a ground shaker. You're a move maker. There's something awesome inside of you that the world needs, and you have yet to discover it, let alone reveal it to them. Take the time out, carve some time out of your day. Carve some time out of your busy schedule, you know, take some time away from your employer, take some time away from, you know, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but take some time for you so you can examine yourself. Take some time away from, you know, the habits that you are doing something bad, or take a moment out of your lunch break today, you know, before you start doing all of these crazy things. Hey, it's still early. Okay, before you get overwhelmed with the day's task, stop. Take a second. Take a deep breath. Say thank you. Ask yourself, examine what would happen if you were to sit there for 15 minutes with no noise, no music, no children, no work, no this, no that, just you dedicating the 15 minutes to you. What could come about in that? What are the ideas that you might put on paper? What things might you actually discover about yourself? How you think, how you process. You know, you are the rescuer of your own situation. That's the reality. You will create something great or not, based off of what you will will yourself to do every single day. Today's a great opportunity to get ahead. Today's a great opportunity to make some strides. Today's a great opportunity to practice some success, to gain some ground for your life. But we can't do it for you. You have to do it. So do it.
You said one powerful thing in there, you know, what makes you tick? And I've played this before, and many of you may have heard it, you know, but it's the very beginning of a professor at a college classroom. And this is the little things, let's see, let me know if y'all can hear it.
Rich and miserable. Now, is that an oxymoron? Or is it just the result of some dreams and aspirations that have gone completely haywire on the road to happiness. What's that even mean? Rich. Somebody give me a definition of the word rich. Money. Absolutely. Give the man a cigar. Lots of money. Tons of money. So you're swimming in butter, or at least that's what they keep telling us in the world outside. But think about this. Each one of you comes in here every single day to learn something that will better prepare you for success in the great big world outside of these doors. Our goal is to educate you so that you're equipped to face whatever may come your way. But what about you? What are you actually learning about you? In other words, what makes you happy? What makes you tick? We all have different likes and dislikes, different strokes for different folks, right? Here's the challenge. I want you to forget about whatever it is you think you face outside these doors, and whatever you think that you want out of life, or believe that life may owe you. I want you to put all of that aside, and I just want you to think about one thing. I want you to think about what you will give. What will you be willing to give to change the word miserable to joyful? What will you be so rich with that you'll be willing to share it with the entire world? And I want you to distill all that down to one word. Come up here, write it on the board, and then walk out the door. And then I want you to give it to the world.
Give it to the world. You come in here each day to get some better inspiration, some better things for your life. What do you want? Where do you want to go? What do you want to be? What do you want to create within this lifetime? What have you seen within the visions that you have within your head? Are you going towards them? Are you making them happen? Are you living that life that you've always dreamed of? Why? Why not? There's only one person stopping you from doing anything that you want within this life. We as entrepreneurs within here have been able to work with each other on a day-to-day basis to increase each other's skill levels in different areas that we may be lacking. But the biggest one that you need to give to you first is the love within your heart. Then what are you going to be bringing to the table of life? What are you going to be able to inspire others because you have done something more within yours? Have fun with everything that you're doing within this life, guys and gals. Miss Jen, I see you got your hand up. She's still walking. The deer attacking her again?
So seriously, I was I was in the park, and then this big mama deer with two babies is like literally walking beside me, like maybe 10 feet away, and I'm with the dog, and the deer kind of like jumps up at Pepper. Like I was like, oh my god, we get jumped by a deer. Haven't even had coffee yet. So I just wanted to say, first of all, congratulations to a couple of you guys for sharing health. That's freaking awesome. Good for you. Shannon, like driving to her dream destination that she manifested is pretty exciting as well. And just really, really quick, like one thing, you guys have been talking about so many things today, like opportunities and taking on things. And one thing I learned from my mentors, like just the other day, actually, sorry, I'm just running uphill. One thing I learned was that you'll be presented with so many different things, so many different ideas, and you're going to want to do it all. And that's one thing that I want to do. I want to do all the things, right? So you're going to want to do it all. But at the end of the day, you got to sit back and be like, what truly do I align with? What really makes me buzz? And focus your attention on that. And the other thing about that is, like, if it's something that's, you kind of want to do it, but you're scared, hopeless, well, do it. Because that's the indicator you should be doing it. So just do it.
That's it. Just do it. And we know Miss Shannon is driving today, so we're not going to, she's fixing to pull over. Cool deal.
No, I have something.
Okay.
So I can give you affirmations all day, every day, but if you don't actually implement them yourself, so I encourage everyone to have belief and faith in yourself. Go in front of the mirror today and say some I am affirmations. You know, open yourself up and actually believe what you're saying. Try it for once.
Feel it. Feel with the words that you're bringing out of your own mouth. Feeling your own excitement and that joy within your happiness when you keep telling, I love you. Because the more you start saying that to yourself, because there's many that have never heard that from themselves and thought we were crazy when me and Julio started telling people to start telling yourself, I love you. And they're like, what? I've never done. Yes. But say it over and over, and then you will start feeling a better emotion. You will start feeling something more within you. You will start feeling a direction to something that's going on. It's like, where's this coming from? And Julio touched on it earlier about you creating things within your life. You seeing different manifestations happening around you. And then you're getting into that alignment state, and then something good happens, and then all of a sudden you think it shouldn't be, oh, this isn't right. This isn't my normal life. Then you get scared when you get tapped in, tuned in, and turned on and ready to roll with your alignment, with your source energy. When you align with it, like he said a while ago, you're getting at a vibration state up here. Now stay there. Don't come off of it, because when you get there, most people get scared and they want to go right back to where they were. Oh, that was too much. That was too much. It all happened so quickly. I don't know how it manifested, but it was right there. I was able to taste it, touch it, and feel it. And then I'm scared. I don't know what to do with it.
You're so used to that comfort zone, Thomas. That comfort zone of life, man. If you have felt something great about yourself, tap into that. Comfort won't get you anywhere. Comfort's not going to get you anywhere but exactly where you're at, comfortable. The moment you begin to step out, though, and grow and get into that uncomfort, man, I mean, it's exactly how you described it, though, Thomas. I never knew what it was. I could remember as a child. I could remember as a teenager. Now, I know I'm not the only one, guys. I know I'm not the only one on here who has tapped into stuff, and I never knew what the hell it was. I never knew. Nobody explained it to me that was energy. Nobody explained it to me. Hey, that's you performing, you being the greater self, you writing, you coming up with material, you tapping into that greater version of you. I didn't know what those things were. When I would sit there and draw, and create something, that out of my own imagination, or I'd sit there and craft something, or I sit there and build something, or this is just me. This is just my situation. I don't know what those situations are in your life, but I guarantee you, each and every one of you has a story to tell. Some situation, some circumstance, whether you were 5, 10, 15, 35, 25, regardless, something happened in that lifespan where like, wow, this is creativity. What is this? Something happened in life. Somebody told, say, hey, your picture looks ugly, or that looks dumb, or that looks this, and you close back up that wall and right back up. That best version of you got put back into a hole, got shoved back into a cave. Said, who are you? What is that?
But there's only one person that puts you in that cave, because you let somebody else's opinion of what you have done that made you feel good while you was doing it. You let their opinion of what you have done affect the rest of your life. This is where we're talking every day to get y'all out of that mode, to know that those opinions doesn't matter. That artwork that you did is beautiful. It is the most awesome creation that was done today. Enjoy it, harness it, and that person that says that looks like crap, tell them to go back under the rock where they came from.
Well, I love poetry. Think about this, Thomas. So, like, if I go and I'll sit there and I'll write some poetry, there's certain poetry that doesn't rhyme, guys. There's some stuff that is regarded as this is Shakespeare. This is that. This is the poet of the, whatever century, and blah, blah, blah. And you'll read it and you'll go, this don't make no sense. What the hell was the person thinking? Or you're not even operating on their level. That's why you can't get it. But how many times have you probably wrote something and it didn't rhyme, and you probably read it to somebody, you shared it to somebody, and they just basically, kind of crapped on your idea. They crapped on what you wrote, or made fun of it or something like that, and then it's a gifting you operated in, but because you regarded somebody's opinion higher than your own, than your own, which is wrong. That's a moral problem right there, but whatever. Maybe you don't even know that you should be regarding, you know, if you're younger, you should regard your own opinion higher than somebody else's. Yes. Okay. And you stop allowing yourself to flow in that energy, to flow in that creativity, to flow and something that probably makes you tick, that makes you happy, that gives you peace of mind. One of the reasons why you may or may not be happy this morning is because you're at a place and you spend the majority of the time at a place doing something that you hate doing to begin with. That's a deep, deep conversation that we're not even going to get into right now. But I'm just saying, think about that for a second. You're plugged into a place where you're collecting a paycheck, to a place that you probably don't even like being in, doing something you don't even like doing. Number one, there's not a ball and chain that is keeping you there. So find what it is that makes you tick and do that. If you can get paid and do that, woo! You're living the dream, my friend. You are living the dream. I actually love working with my hands. I love helping people. It's one of the many reasons why I'm still at where I'm at, okay? But understand, there's a greater vision behind the things that I want to do. There's a greater vision behind the energy and how I want to direct my energy. So I will myself to do something great. And I'm just speaking for me and my situation. I promise you, I mark my words, I won't be in this same situation months from now. I won't be in the same situation years from now. Every single day, I'm going to will myself to grow in one way, shape, fashion, or form. You might not always see my growth. You might not always see my progress. But know that I'm moving to a higher level. Know that I'm operating off of something greater than myself. Know that I'm tapping in to the better version of myself and the bigger picture of my life. We're simply inviting you every single morning to tap into your source and do the exact same for yourself.
Go ahead, Jen.
Journal. That's all I got to say. And I told Thomas I'd make this super quick because I know he's super busy. Journal. That's one thing. If you're sitting there and you're like, I need to come up with something, then go and journal. Let your mind thoughts go and start to come up with a vision of what you really want. And then actually start to do that stuff and then keep yourself accountable and you'll see. But I can't stress how important journaling and writing your ideas and thoughts down are. Thanks, Thomas.
Thank you, Jen. Thank you, everybody that's come out here with us this morning. Thank you again, Shannon, for even on the fly. We got our affirmations today. Brother Julio for bringing his power and his words of authority and truth to us every day.
1 second, Thomas. We got to give her kudos. We got to give Shannon kudos for
that was awesome.
On the fly today. No. You don't understand, Jen. We had a small little conversation yesterday about it just flowing naturally out of her anyways. She's a powerhouse and she don't even know it. It's that half a foot. It's that half a foot that she's right there. That's what makes her a powerhouse.
Though, wait, are we talking about Shannon's height? Just kidding, Shannon. Yes, Shannon, we could talk about her all day. She inspired me yesterday, and we'll talk about that later. But Shannon, you rock, girl. Drive safe.
All right, guys. We're going to lock this one up. Y'all have a beautiful, awesome rest of your Friday. Do it with love and in your heart and smiles on your face. And put the music on today. Get some toes tapping. Get some good energy flowing through you of some shape, form, or fashion. Love and appreciate you all. We'll see y'all tomorrow.